in real time.
A question of racial imbalance within the ranks of Chicago police.
They didn't have a chance.
The CBS 2 investigators digging into who's behind the badge. Now to a CBS 2 investigation into hiring practices within the Chicago Police Department. For years, the city has vowed to make the police force look more like the population that it serves.
But a media watchdog group says African-American applicants in particular continue to face discrimination. CBS 2 investigator Megan Hickey joins us live from the Training Academy. Megan, biggest challenge has been actually getting this data.
Right, Brad and Erica, we've requested recruitment data from CPD and been denied over and over. We finally had to get those numbers from the state, which show that African-American representation is still low.
The hiring practices have been flawed.
After 31 years of service, retired CPD Captain Corwin Calhoun says the recruitment process discriminates against African-American applicants who may have a juvenile criminal record but are ready to turn a page.
They didn't have a chance just by the very geography of where they lived or the color of their skin.
He was joined by other members of the media watchdog group Media Editing Group to call out the department and its leaders.
To see more African-American police hired. That's our point. That's our purpose for being here today.
Pastor Rich Redmond pointed to a recent Office of Inspector General report, which found that 37% of the department's applicants from 2016 to 2018 were African American. But by the end of the hiring process, only 18% of all candidates who were invited to the police academy were African American. He said his community demands
that the Chicago Police Department balance its police force by the hiring of more African American applicants in both their October and December in-person exams.
While the report found CPD was hiring a suitable number of minorities, most are not of African American descent. After unsuccessful attempts to obtain the recent diversity data on CPD's ranks via the Freedom of Information Act, we had to turn to the state for answers. The Illinois Law Enforcement Training and Standards Board, which says African Americans make up just over 20% of new hires since 2020. 25% of new hires are white, and nearly 50% of new hires are Hispanic. Of the department's current employees, African American officers make up less than 20% of the department, in a city where 30% of the population is African American. Now, we reached out to CPD to comment on that data supplied by the state. A spokesperson told us they could not confirm those numbers and, quote, do not have that information. Brad?
And so, Megan, while Chicago Police didn't respond to our request for comment today, they did respond to the actual Inspector General's report.
Right. Back in June, they said that they had hired a consultant for recruitment, but that person would not be working full-time until January 1st, 2022, due to budgeting constraints. Brad?
Okay, so next year. CBS 2 investigator Megan Hickey. Thank you, Megan.